Ladbrokes is rated A by SBR. Click on their logo to learn more.
Welcome everyone, I'm Jordan Sharp. It's an unusually short card here on Monday night, only about 6 games on tap for you this evening. However, I still have found a couple that I'm feeling pretty good about here in an NBA odds perspective. So let's start it off with an early game between the Indiana Pacers hosting the Denver Nuggets, where the Pacers come in as a huge 10.5 point favorite in this game, a total of 199 points. Now, a big reason why Pacers are so heavily favored in this game because the status of Ty Lawson really up in the air, probably looking doubtful at this point because of his fractured ribs. Already the Nuggets are really missing a ton of their key players right now, with Nate Robinson, of course, tearing his ACL a few weeks ago as well. So that's why they look as a huge underdog in this game. However, I think that the spread just a little bit too wobbly here for my liking. I think it's just a little bit too much variance here for my liking. I think I'm going to go with instead bet on the total at 199 points. Denver, of course, averaging 103 points per game this season, but without Lawson, their offense just takes a huge dive. You can look at some examples from games they played earlier in the season when Lawson had to miss a couple as well. I doubt they even get to 90 points in this game without Lawson and up against this Indiana Pacers defense. Indiana, of course, on the other side played yesterday, so I think they will keep this game close. And they lost to Orlando, of course. Now they will be probably a little ticked off because of that. It was a strange ending to that game, but they kind of collapsed in that game, only scored about 40 points in the second half, but I don't think that's going to happen again against the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets defense, not that great, but the Indiana Pacers defense is, and I see this as a lower scoring game. The Nuggets will not be able to get out and run. They'll have to settle for a lot of half-court shots and probably a lot of long-range shots as well, because they literally have no one to get in the paint, with Lawson probably missing the game, but like I said, there's nothing really confirmed with that yet. So if indeed he does miss with the rib injury, I think that the under here is the play at 199. So we'll go on to the Raptors playing host to the Pelicans. It's our second game for this one. The Raptors come in as a 7-point favorite, total of 193.5 in this game. Of course, also the Pelicans played yesterday on Sunday as well. They played in Brooklyn. Actually, were looking like they were going to get blown out, but actually made a pretty solid game of it. But of course, tough back-to-back heading into Canada, of course, having to go through all that there is to go for a trip to Toronto from the United States. And New Orleans already not that great on the second night of a back-to-back, and definitely shorthanded with all the injuries they've been dealing with. They're only 4-7-1 against the spread this season on no rest. And Toronto, of course, finally at home after a long road trip for them. They're finally rested after seeing them drop 3 of their last 4 straight up. So I think the Raptors are going to definitely turn things around tonight against a Pelicans team that will be tired from playing their game in Brooklyn last night. The last 10 games, Toronto's been really picking up on the offensive end, averaging about 102 points per game off the back-to-back. I don't think the Pelicans are going to have enough to stay with them through 4 quarters, especially with how good the Toronto Raptors are defensively at playing at home. So add the Raptors -7 along with the Pacers and Nuggets under 199, both of those to your NBA picks here for you this evening. Best of luck to you on these two, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. But until then, I'm Jordan Sharp, and this has been another edition of the Sharp Pick.